Good evening. It is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. I'm Ben Shatliff. You're watching Ben Shatliff Tonight. Is everybody getting tired of seeing these extra programs? Is everybody getting tired of the general election campaign? Tomorrow is the last full day of campaigning, and then on Thursday, it is the day itself. And then you can join me from 10 o'clock up until 2 a.m. with different special programs when I will give a predicted exit poll, and then we will have updates up until and including 2 a.m. and go to bed for a few hours. I don't think it'll be time for a morning update, but then I'll be back again at around 7:30 on Friday evening to sum up what has been election 2024, and then I'll also be back on Sunday for Ben Shatliff on Sunday. And then after that, we'll have a little rest and then start again on a whole variety of various different things. We'll go through the headlines and then just remind you, just once again, of a couple of little things about what will be happening on tomorrow's special programme. And then there won't be anything at all from me then until 10 o'clock on Thursday after tomorrow, because I'm going to follow the broadcasting rules and regulations about not doing anything involving the election while the polls are actually taking place. So that's why I will wait until 10 o'clock on Thursday. But all of that will be explained on a special edition of Ben Shatliff Tonight tomorrow evening at around 7:30. Let's take a look at the headlines which are making the news on this Tuesday evening. We'll go to Sky News first of all. The serial killer nurse Lucy Letby has been found guilty of the attempted murder of an extremely premature baby just hours after she was born. Letby, who was convicted last year of the murder of 7 babies and the attempted murder of 6 others, was found guilty by a jury at a retrial which took place at Manchester Crown Court. The jury at her original trial had been unable to reach a verdict on the charge that she attempted to murder the premature baby known as Baby K at the Countess of Chester Hospital in February 2016. The prosecution said that Letby had displaced the baby's breathing tube and had been caught virtually red-handed when a doctor walked into the room. A trainee nurse has been found guilty of attempting to launch an ISIS-inspired suicide attack using a homemade bomb at the hospital where he worked. Mohammed Sahel Farouk, who's 28, was arrested outside St. James's Hospital in Leeds with a viable bomb manufactured from a pressure cooker containing 9.9 kilograms of low explosives. This happened in January 2023. Other items, including knives, black tape, and an imitation firearm with blank ammunition, were also found on him in his car. And last night we spoke about Hurricane Beryl. At least 4 people have died after Hurricane Beryl made landfall in the southeastern Caribbean, with the storms now heading towards Jamaica. It comes after the monstrous weather system slammed into islands including Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Barbados on Monday. Widespread damage to homes and business has been reported, along with power cuts and other disruption. Sanctions imposed against Russia over its invasion of Ukraine have failed to achieve any of their aims, the country's ambassador has told Sky News. Andrei Keelin, speaking to Sky News, as an investigation by Sky's Ed Conway revealed glowing loopholes in the restrictions regime, which has allowed British companies legally to help Russia gas flowing and generate huge revenues for the Kremlin's war machine. He defended the continued trade with Europe despite the heightened tensions, arguing business is pure business. He also urged the supply of weapons by the West, including Britain, to Ukraine was bad, as it perpetrated a conflict which he claimed would be worse for Kyiv in the long term. The West should continue doing whatever it can and do much, much more to help Ukraine. Russia is a terrorist state. Russia are the ones who are responsible for what is happening, and they deserve everything they get. Impartiality stops when it comes to what's happening in Ukraine, because what Russia are doing is completely wrong. And also on Sky's Money Block, they said about a rival to Netflix called Tubi, which is launching in the UK from Fox. And that should be something to have a look at, see if it's something which is of any kind of interest to anybody. You know, if this is actually some good stuff, or it's just sometimes like a same old mix of the usual kind of things that we see. Right, okay, on the Sky News app, sorry, the ITV News app, they say more than 4 million children were living in poverty in the UK in 2023, an increase of 100,000 on the previous year. Yet, how to tackle child poverty and help those living in the most deprived communities has barely featured in this election campaign, angering education unions, head teachers and charities. On the edge of a noisy playground at Pennyman Primary Academy in Middlesbrough, two parents run a discounted food shop. A picnic table doubles as their makeshift counter and is filled with fresh fruit and vegetables, as well as long-term life staples such as porridge, pasta and tinned soup. And as we are one of the richest countries in the world, no matter which political party anybody supports or whatever, any kind of a scenario, and don't forget that the Conservatives have been in power for 14 years, before that Labour were in power for 13 years, and so on. It's been a mixture of Labour and Conservatives over the last 40, well, over the last 50 years, then that should not be happening here in the UK, poverty like that. That's something that people need to be thinking about, and that can be said of any party, because don't forget that a government might rule, but one party might rule the government, but then another party might be in charge of those local areas where people are. So you might have a Conservative government, Labour council, or you could have, like in the past, Labour government but Conservative council, all kinds of different things. And that is where, to me, trying to speak now from a kind of like neutral perspective, because of course I'm being very careful here, I'm not showing any allegiance or anything like that to anybody. I've already voted, as I've already said, but this is where politics doesn't work in certain ways, and it's the same all over the world as well, because it happens in America as well, whereas one party might be in government, but another party is running a local council, because they may have cuts or might think, all right, okay, I'll use the money in one particular way, when they might have like what they call the holes, where the money pots which can be used for certain things, so why not go in that to make sure that certain things are, and this is where things don't always work out, whereas they should be thinking, right, okay, you have a budget, or things should be done in such a way where politics is not played, where it's affecting where people are having to be, where child poverty is concerned. Don't forget, those children are our future. In 40 years' time, or in 30 years' time, then my relatives could be presenting something on the television or whatever, and they could be talking about what's happening there in the future, whereas I can think back to 30, 40 years ago at different things, 30 years ago, and I had a full idea of everything that was going on 40 years ago, when I do remember election 83. I mean, I can talk about that at another specific stage, but you do, you think I'm just saying, so, children are the future, as that great Whitney Houston song said, the greatest love of all. We are the future. And that is exactly, you know, so, these things do all need to be thought about. And it's also mentioned on the ITV News app as well, still sticking with politics, a second Reform candidate quits over racism and bigotry to back the Conservatives. And Andy Murray has confirmed he will not be competing in the men's singles at Wimbledon this year. The Scottish tennis ace will still be playing doubles with his brother Jamie, his team announced on Tuesday. This is to be Murray's final Wimbledon tournament after being the headline act in SW19 since 2002. There's plenty of other decent players. We do not need Andy Murray. There's many other decent tennis players. Emma Raducanu who's done well. There's others doing well as well. So let's just think about the ones who are going to do well. Okay, thank you. Right, okay. Sorry, I just had to have a little bit of a wind up there, just in relation to the to Andy Murray. I do feel sorry though for any fans that may have actually been queuing up with the possibility that Andy Murray may have been playing at Wimbledon today, because he's still not officially said it'll be yes or no, and people will probably think, well, is he going to be there, even though it could be doubtful, and then it wasn't. So I think really for the honesty and the decency of the fans, Andy, what you should have done was announced yesterday or even a couple of days before to say, right, that is definitely it. It's, rather than people possibly queuing, because people might have thought, should I go? Should I not go? And thought, no, I'll go just in case he's there. Didn't happen. Got to think about the fans. Right, okay. So I've gone through the news. I've had a little bit of a friendly, little bit of banter there in regards to Andy Murray. But again, the young ones of the future can still do extremely well there. Right, okay. So this is exactly what will be happening tomorrow evening at 7:30. Please join me for the climax of this election campaign in the preparation. Tomorrow I'll be telling you all about what happens with the either poll and what normally happens in terms of the actual the door knocking, get out the vote as they call it, on election day. This will happen across all the parties, anyone who is standing, and it all goes from very early in the morning right through to literally saying, can I take you, I was going to the airport, can I take you to the polling station, do you need a lift, all that kind of stuff. Don't need to take me to any polling station, it's already done. I've already gone to a post box. I posted somewhere further away from where I live, just in case anyone's thinking, who's this person voted for? You never know. Anyway, but that's tomorrow evening. We'll go through all that as well. I'll also go through the process of voting as well, just in case anybody is unfamiliar with the actual process. Of course, not telling everybody who to vote for, but just go through the process. And then that will be it then, until Thursday evening. And I will give an exit poll, which will be pre-recorded because I want to watch the other exit polls as they come in. And I'll come on a few minutes later, a live programme discussing the exit polls, seeing how we go from there. And then I will continue giving updates until 2 a.m. in the morning on Friday morning. And that'll be it until Friday evening at 7:30. I'll give a full rundown of what's happened. I would imagine that everything will all be known by then, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, thank you to everybody who subscribed to Ben Shatliff Online, the people that watched, the people that put the thumbs up and everything else, and in particular to some very good, to my wonderful nephews who have given me further guidance and managed to raise the profile of Ben Shatliff Online. and it has been fantastic. It does not end with election 24. This is, and I was always going to quote Churchill then by saying this is not even the beginning of the end, and is this the end of the beginning? But no, because I want to continue doing this, and when it comes to the next general election, which should be in 5 years, don't forget we've actually gone through a stage now of actually having 4.5 years in between an election. Then I hope to be presenting completely all night with much. With bigger surroundings and more technicalities and everything to do a proper full-scale election show. So but please just continue liking, subscribing, and as that hymn says, you come and follow me. Follow me on X, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, Facebook. We'll go on this journey together. From me for now, good night. Thank you for joining and enjoy what is left of the day. Good night.
Will you leave yourself behind if I would call your name? Will you care for cruel and kind and never be the same? Will you breathe the hostile stare? Should your life attract or scare? Will you let the unseen prayer in you and will you let your blinders see if I but call your name? Will you set the prisoners free and never be the same? Will you kiss the leper clean and do such as this unseen and admit to what I mean in you? Will you love and you hide if I but call your name? Will you quell the fear inside and never be the same? Will you use the faith you found to reshape the world around through my sight and touch and sound in you? Lord, your song